Hi, it's Cheryl. Happy New Year and welcome to Homeridge Studio. Today I have 3 quick, easy, and budget-friendly Dollar Tree Valentine's Day crafts to share with you. Today is my first DIY video of 2026 and I hope you enjoy it. This is a flower box. It could be a centerpiece, or it could be a shelf sitter, or it could be a gift to someone. But here's what you need to make this. I have a box from the Dollar Tree. Matter of fact, all this is from the Dollar Tree. I have the flowers. I have, they call these ornaments, they're little like sticks. And some ribbon and the heart picks. And I also have this really cute heart light set with 2 AA batteries and some antique wax. Okay, so I'm just going to take one of these little sticks. I don't know what you call these. Like I said, it says ornament on there, but they're not ornaments. And I'm just going to take the antique wax there, and I'm just going to put a coat on the front and the back. And I'm just going to wipe off the extra so you can see the Happy Valentine's Day through it. And now I'm going to take this piece of foam. I just had it in my stash. I used it on another project that I took apart, so I just reuse that kind of stuff. And I just put some hot glue in the bottom, glued it there, and I'm taking my picks. So I have 3 different colors of roses. I have dark red. I don't know why they look pink, but they're dark red. And then I have a kind of a red and pink type of rose. And then I have the light ones, the light pink, which I thought were roses, but they're not. They're peonies or peonies, however you pronounce it. But I just used them anyway because that's what I had. And so I'm just putting all these in the back, the dark ones first. I had a couple picks of those. I only had 1 pick of the medium color and then 1 pick of the peonies. So I want this to have look like kind of an ombre. So it goes from dark to light. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting them all in kind of in a row. And I'm filling this up pretty good, as you can see. And I've had all this stuff in my stash. I literally bought nothing for Valentine's Day. I have 2 big totes full of Valentine's Day stuff, and I'm going to try to use as much as I can from it without buying another anything. Just because I'm running out of storage space. So I am just using what I have, and I have some good stuff. So I don't know why. I just keep buying more, and this year I'm not doing that. So anyway, and I am just going to show you how you can use your stash as well. So anyway, I finished putting the flowers in there, and then I put the little stick in there that says Happy Valentine's Day, and then I have these little foam hearts, the sparkly glittery ones. Threw a couple of them in there. And now I'm going to take, I love these are so pretty. They're like little teeny heart lights. And I'm just going to wrap it around all of these flowers as best as I can, burying the wire as much as possible. You can see it a little bit here and there, but there's nothing I can do about it. But you can't tell when the light's on. It just looks so beautiful. And I glued the battery pack on the back there. And I'm still stuffing the lights down there, as you can see, trying to wrap them around the stem of the flowers. And now I have the ribbon, again from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just making an awareness bow where you just crisscross it and pull the loop down in the back and then hold it, and I put a double knot in it with some jute. And then I dovetailed the ends. And I'm just going to glue it right to the top of the box there. Now this would be a really super cute gift You could put those little sticks in there that say Happy Valentine's Day, and you could glue like candy on it, like a candy bar or a sucker, or, you know, whatever kind of candy that, if you're going to give it to somebody, whatever kind of candy that person likes, and you can just put pop a bunch of sticks in there like that, and that would be a super cute gift. Very inexpensive, all from the Dollar Tree, and I love this. Let me know what you think about this one. And this is a wall hanger. And to make it, here's what you need. Again, this was all in my stash. So all from the Dollar Tree. So I have the heart. I have this little envelope thing. I have 3 of those. 2 of them have gnomes on them. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll figure something out. And I have some more roses. They're kind of a cream color. I had that little stem. I think it was some kind of garland in my stash. I have this ribbon that's a lacy ribbon. And I have some Waverly plaster paint and some antique wax. So yeah, I have a blemish on the front side of that. I'm terrible at looking at my pieces that I pick. I just pick a few of them and throw them in the cart. I got to start looking at them. And yeah, this is a new container of Waverly antique wax. I have another antique wax and I lost it. It's pretty new, but I always have backup because I use this stuff a lot. So this was brand new. I had to open it up because I couldn't find my other one. And then I didn't shake it. I didn't even think to shake it. And it had this black goop that came out of it. Luckily, it came off. And then I put the lid back on, shook it up as you saw there. And then I put just a coat of the Waverly wax on it, or the antique wax on it. And then I wiped it off with a baby wipe. And I'm doing the same thing here with this piece, except for the word love. I'm trying not to get, I get a little bit on it. I'm trying not to get on that because I want to paint it with the plaster, which I'm doing here. And now I'm just going to take this and glue it to the very bottom so you don't see the heart through it. I want this to be on top of the heart. I hope that makes sense. You'll see right here. I pulled it all the way down to the bottom so you can see the box through it, but not the heart. And now I have this bag of little pieces of foam. Yes, I keep those too. And I'm just, for these reasons. And so I'm just putting a bunch of little wedges in here, hot gluing them in, and I'm just putting them in there really tight because I'm going to put some of those roses in here. It doesn't matter if it's sticking up because we're going to hide all that, and we're going to hide the little top of the little box there too as well. And I think I have 2 picks of these cream color roses. I think they're so pretty. And I wanted to make this a little bit more neutral. This is a piece that you could actually keep up all year long. And these are from Hobby Lobby. They were $2.99. I'm sure I got them on sale, like, you know, they're typical 40% off. I only had 1 pick, or only 1 pick that I could find. I wish I had 2 because I would have put more in here, but that's all I had. So I was just working with it. So I put 1 on each side and 1 in the middle. And now I'm going to try to add a little bit of green in here, some leaves and things, and I'm just trying not to cover up the word love. And again, I'm just building this up, trying to throw some green in there. And I thought it needed more flowers, so I'm popping in a few more roses. It needed more height. And I'm trying to, I don't want it symmetrical, very symmetrical. I want it more asymmetrical, and that's kind of what I was playing around with here. So you don't want to put one right in the middle, one right on the right, and the same thing on the left. You want to kind of tilt them a little bit slightly different, and you could have one in the middle but just slightly off. I hope that makes sense, but it gives things more interest. I went to, when I went to college, I took design classes. I wanted to be an interior designer. Never ended up doing that because I ended up having babies and I couldn't do all the whole college load and take care of my family. So I didn't finish. I do have an associate's degree, but I don't know, maybe 14 credits or something like that. More than I would have had my bachelor's degree, but I thought my family was more important, so I didn't do it, and that's okay because I had little jobs here and there, but I never really went into that field. But thank heavens for YouTube, because now I get to do this kind of stuff, craft and design and decorate and all that. So anyway, this is my passion. And as you can see, I'm just putting more wispy leaves in there. I had this part of a garland in my stash, and now I have this lacy ribbon, and I put tape on the end of it so I could poke it through that hole, and now I'm just going to twist it, double knot it, the knot right on top of each other. So 2 knots is what I'm trying to say. And then I did the same thing to the other side. Just taped it off, and I kept rolling it so it was really pointy, so then I could poke it right through there. And then again, double knotting that, one on top of the other, cutting off the end, and then I'm going to put a little dollop of hot glue underneath both of those to prevent those from unraveling and also to keep them stable. And I think this piece, you can, like I said, you can keep it up all year long. It just reminds me of spring, and it's just so, like, I don't know, kind of, it's not a word, gardening-y. But it just reminded me of a garden is what I was trying to say. But yeah, I like this too. Okay, last but not least. And this is just a little pick. Again, I had all this stuff in my stash. I had this little thing here. I have a ton of those, a whole shelf full of those. I have some jute. I have a ton of these too. The hearts from the Dollar Tree, all again from the Dollar Tree. I have these burlap bags. Those are red. They look pink on film, but here's the pink ones. So see, I have those too. And again, the Waverly Antique Wax, because I use a ton of that. And I wish I could find my other container. I don't know where I keep all of my paint in one area, and I went through my cabinet 3 times. It is not in there. But, I'll go in there tomorrow and it'll be right in front of my face. No doubt that's what's going to happen, but that's okay. So I'm showing you, there was a pretty good blemish on that one. And I just wanted to put a coat of antique wax on it, but I couldn't leave it that way because of that blemish. So I decided I was going to heavily distress it, which is another thing I like to do too anyway. So I have the plaster chalk paint, and I'm just going to continue to distress this and brush it on to hide that blemish in the middle. And as you saw earlier, those pieces, as you probably know, they're pretty rough, so I did have to sand that pretty good. And then when you sand things down, obviously you clean them off, you brush it off, because you don't want to put all that, the sawdust or dust or whatever back into your paint. And so now I'm trying to pop that out there, and it wasn't having it. I got it to move a little bit, but then I was afraid I was going to break it. So I decided, I'll just do it this way. And I want to put the burlap on top of that. And I was I knew that you could see through the burlap bag, and I didn't want to see pink through that, and obviously I didn't want to see the X's through that. So I just took some white chalk paint and painted just one quick coat on there. I got the edges really well too, but not the inside of the frame. And this was pretty easy. I just wanted the one piece with the heart on it, or with the hearts on it. And this was really easy. I just cut a little, just a little bit, and then I tore it and it just came right apart. Super, super easy. I was surprised. Not everything is always that easy. If you would have seen earlier, I had to open a white paint too because my other white paint was gone. And I was going to leave it in, but I did edit it out because I spilled paint all over. It was all over my hands. I got it all over the bottle, got all over my mat, and then somehow I flung it all over my top. I had a brown t-shirt on, and then all over my leggings, because that's what I craft in, leggings and a t-shirt, and all over my floor and all over my cupboard. Yeah, it was everywhere. I was going to leave it in because I thought it was funny, but then I decided not to. But anyway, you can imagine. So I think it ruined my top, which is a bummer. It's just a t-shirt from like Old Navy. It was probably $8 or something, but I liked it. Anyway, too much on that. You can see what I'm doing here. I just cut the piece down to fit on the inside, Mod Podged it down, and then made sure I went over the edges again to keep that material down there. And now I'm just gluing this distressed heart right in the middle. And this can be a shelf sitter. This can be a tiered trade piece. These are just super easy to make and super cute. And if you just want to get your craft on, this is something that anybody could make. So I took my jute and I just wrapped it around my hand like 10 times or something, and then tied it off in the middle, double knot there. And I just trimmed it up and I glued it right there in the middle. I was going to put one of those hearts that came out of the picture, but it just looked funny, like a heart on heart on heart. So I got my trusty Walmart buttons out. And like I say, I use these a lot. I say this in almost every video. I use them a ton and I love them. They're a big container. They're like $12, but they're so worth it because I've been using these buttons for years now. So this is how this piece turned out. I think this is super adorable. Let me know which one is your favorite piece. And also let me know if you do things like me, like spill paint all over the place and like have craft boo-boos. And oh boy, today was something, but it all turned out well. I love all these pieces. And here's the whole shebang, all 3 pieces together. And that's all I have for you today. I hope that I've inspired you. And remember to tap the subscribe button, to like, share, hype, and all that good stuff. And like I always say, I will be back real soon. And until then, have a very blessed week. Bye.